Guys, Ritesh here, and in this video, I will be talking about a very important metric in machine learning, and its name is uh, ROC-AUC. Generally, the name that we use is ROC-AUC. This is receiver operating characteristic, and this area under curve. This is area under curve. So this metric is generally used in those scenarios where uh, the distribution of the classes is not even. For example, uh, the dataset may contain 20% of data point belonging to class 1 and 80% of dataset belonging to class 2. So in these cases where the distribution of the labels is skewed towards one of the class, in those cases we are using area under curve as a metric. And first let me define it. And this is only used in binary classification. You have to note that this is used in binary classification only in binary classification. Okay, now what is AUC? So AUC is the area under this particular graph, and how to draw this graph is we should have false positive rate on x-axis and true positive rate on y-axis. This is y-axis and this is x-axis, and we may have a graph like this or like this. Okay, so this value will be 1, this is maximum, this is 1, and here also this is 1. So the area under curve at maximum can be 1 and minimum can be 0, as seen from this particular square. See, this is a square. If this is a square and its side is 1, then the maximum area that this square is having is 1. And when the we will have minimum area when our graph will be like this, when our graph will be like this and like this, sorry, and like this, then we will have 0 area. So we will see all those cases when we have area of 1 and when we have area of 0 and when we have a graph something like this. So first let me recap what is true positive rate and what is false positive rate, and after that we will continue. Okay, see, true positive rate. True positive rate is true positive upon true positive plus false negative. First let me draw this particular matrix, then only you will remember it, because in this matrix series, in matrix series we have confusion matrix, there you can even revise it. This is actual label, that is 0 and 1, and this is predicted label 0 and 1. So when the actual label is 0 and the predicted label is also 0, then we say it true negative. When the actual label is 1 and predicted is 0, this is false negative. Okay, when actual is 0 and predicted is 1, this is false positive. This is false positive. And when the actual is 1 and we also say 1, that is true positive. Okay, now this particular column will represent all the data points that are actually positive, and this particular column will represent all the data points that are negative. 0 means negative here. Okay, just remember, this is the convention that we will be using. And these are the predicted negative class and these are the predicted positive class. So for true positive rate, we need true positive here and all the positives that we have here. So all the positive is true positive plus false negative. So this is also called recall. This is also called recall. And what is false positive rate? False positive rate is false positive upon this particular column. This particular column. This is true negative plus false positive. Simple. So now we have the definition for true positive rate and false positive rate. Okay, now how to draw this graph is, let me take one separate page. Now suppose uh, we have 10 data points. Okay, we have 10 data points. That is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, and the model is giving the probability of whether a point is belonging to 0 or belonging to 1. So we will only be looking at 1, whether a point is belonging to class 1 or not, and we will see the probability that the model gives to us. See, we have earlier seen that if the probability is greater than 0.5 or equal to 0.5, we say the class is 1, else we say class is 0. We have seen it earlier. Or even if you have not seen this, just for now you just remember that if the probability given by the model is greater than equals to 5, we take a class of 1, and else 0. This is default value, but you can take any value of your choice. You can take 0.1 also. If the probability will be greater than 0.1, you will say class belongs to 1, otherwise class belongs to 0. You can take 0.2, you can take 0.3, and so on. You can even go till 1.0 or 0.9, any value of your choice you can take. So suppose the probability given by the model for class for data point 1 is 0.1, for 2 0.5, for 3 this is 0.3, for 4 0.7, for 5 0.8, for 6 0.9, for 7 0.7, for 8 0.4, for 9 0.7, for 10 0.8. Now this is the label. Now label is provided on the basis of the threshold. For example, we are taking a threshold of suppose 0.5. Then this will be labeled as 0, this will be labeled as 1, this will be labeled as 0, this will be labeled as 1. Now this will be labeled as 1, this will be labeled as 1, this will be labeled as 1, this will be labeled as 0, this will be labeled as 1, and this will be labeled as 1. This is the label predicted by the model. Suppose we have some actual label here. Suppose this is the actual label. Suppose the actual label is 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 1. This is our actual label. Now we have to see how many points are correctly classified and how many points are incorrectly classified. Okay, so correctly classified and incorrectly classified. Okay, correctly classified, how many points are correctly classified? This is incorrect, this is incorrect, this is correct. So this is correctly classified, this is correctly classified, this is correctly, this is incorrect, this is incorrect, and this is incorrect, and this is correct, and this is correct. So how many? 1 2 3 4 5. 5 points are correctly classified. Okay, so this is true positive 1 and 1, 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 true positive. So for true positive, let's remove this. For true positive, we have 4 true positives. Now we have to see true negatives. How many true negative is there? 0 1 no, 1 0 no, 0 0. So 1 true negative, 1 1 1 1 1 0, and 0 1 and 1 0. See, this is the actual. You have to compare the predicted label with the actual label. So this is 1 and 1, this is 1 and 1. So only true negative is only 1. So now we have to see false positive. False positive, this should be 1. For false positive, this should be 1 and this should be, sorry, this should be 0 and this should be 1. Then only that will be false positive, because the actual label is negative, but what we are predicting, that is positive class. Or the actual label is 0 and what we are predicting is 1. That's why this is false positive. Now see, this is 0 and this is 1, so false positive, plus this is 0, this is 0, no problem, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, this is 0 and this is 1, so again 1, and this is 0 and this is 1, so again 1. So there are in total 3 false positive, 1 true positive, and all. Now let me take other page. We have 4 true positives, we have true negative is 1 and false positive, this is 3. And we know that true positive rate is true positive upon true positive plus true negative, sorry, true positive plus true positive plus false negative. And this is 4, this is 3 7, this is 1, that is 8. Therefore we have total 10 points. So false negative will be 10 minus 8, that is 2. For now we are calculating like this. This is false negative. So what is true positive? True positive is 4 upon 4 plus 2, this is 4 upon 6, this is 2 upon 3. Okay, this is true positive rate. Now what we have to calculate is false positive rate. What is false positive rate? Is false positive upon true negative plus false positive. What is false positive? False positive is 3, true negative is 1, and false positive is 3. This is 3 upon 4. So this can be 2 upon 3 is 0.66, and this is 3 upon 4, and this is 0.75. Is this 0.75? And this is 0.66. So now what we have to do is, this was for threshold 0.5. And what we have to do in drawing AUC or in creating this AUC graph is, we will start from a threshold of 0.1, we will go to 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5 until 0.9, or you can even take smaller values also. Just for the simplicity, I am starting from 0.1 and going till 0.9. So for every threshold, you will get a true positive rate and a false positive rate for every threshold. So what you have to do is, for every false positive rate, you have to plot this true positive rate. So you will get a point here corresponding to false positive rate. You can get a point here. 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 So when you will connect this, you will get a graph. And this graph, this is 1 at max, and this will be 1. So this particular graph is called AUC, or this is the area under this graph is called AUC. This area under graph is called AUC. This is how we draw this ROC or AUC, whatever you call, no problem with that naming. So I will repeat it once more. What we do is, we have our data points. These are our data points. This is our actual label. This is our actual label, and this is our predicted probability. This is our predicted probability. This will be floating values. This will be the floating values. Now we have to select a threshold. We will start from 0.1 and we will go till 0.9, and for every threshold we will get a predicted class. How to get the predicted class? If the probability is less than threshold, we will give it a class of 0. If this probability is greater than threshold, we will give a class of 1. So once for this particular threshold we get all the predicted labels, then we will calculate true positive rate and false positive rate for every data point. Not for every data point. Once we have this, we will get a TPR and FPR for the whole data set. Now we will change the threshold, and then we'll again calculate TPR and FPR. Then again we will change the threshold, and then again we will calculate TPR and FPR. So for various values of threshold, for every value of threshold, we will get, this is threshold, and this is TPR, and this is FPR. This is true positive rate and false positive rate. So after getting all these values, we have to plot a graph of false positive rate and true positive rate, and we will get a graph like something like this, or any graph. It will depend on the data and the training that you have done. Now once we have this particular graph, how to interpret this graph is, I will show you how to interpret it. Now what will happen is, now this is our graph. Okay, now this is false positive rate, this is true positive rate. Okay, this particular diagonal, this is the diagonal. Okay, let me draw it. This was not proper. Okay, this is the diagonal. This means that true positive rate equals to false positive rate. So what actually true positive rate is? This is the probability. You can think that this is the probability of positive classification. Means this gives us a sense that what is the probability that our model will give a positive, or you can say that positive classification or positive result upon given a test data. True positive rate, or this is also called recall, this will give us a probability that whether our model will positively classify or correctly classify a point or not. Okay, and you can also say, suppose we want to detect some of the anomaly in some of the cases. For example, suppose given some feature, we have to say whether this item is defective or non-defective. Suppose given an item, we have to find whether this item is defective or not. How to find it? It will depend upon the information that we have here. Don't worry about the information or the data point, just think that we have a case where we have to say whether the item is defective or not. So this particular thing will say what is the probability of finding the defect, or we want to detect the defect, and this particular thing is raising the false detection alarm. Suppose the item is not defective, and our model says no, the item is defective, so we will reject those items, no. So this particular thing will indicate, this indicates false alarms or false detection, false detection, and this gives true detection, true picture, whether we are able to detect a particular defect in the item or not. So ideally we want this to be lowered, and this should be high, now. Now suppose we have a graph like this. Okay, suppose we have a graph like this. Now at this particular point we have a lower false positive rate, but we also have a lower true positive rate. You can see here, because as we move along this direction, the false positive rate will increase. As we move along this particular direction, let me change the color. As we move in this particular direction, true positive rate will increase. Now see, at this particular point, let's see, this is the maximum true positive rate that we can get. This is the maximum, that we can get. Now at this particular point you can see that false positive rate is also considerably high. So it depends on our business requirements and our problem statement how much false positive rate we can allow. Now according to me, we should select this one. Why? Because false positive rate has dropped considerably compared to the true positive rate that we had at this point. And this point, the decrease in true positive rate is very minimal compared to the decrease in false positive rate. So this will be the optimal threshold. So how to select the threshold? See, for every threshold we know true positive rate and false positive rate. So once we take a particular true positive rate and a particular false positive rate, and we have selected this as our optimal point, we can look in our data structure for which particular threshold we got this particular true positive rate and this particular false positive rate, and we can select that threshold. So this is how we will use our AUC, ROC AUC metric to select a particular threshold according to our own business needs. So this is the main advantage of using AUC ROC in imbalanced data sets, because most of the metric will not show our show true picture when our data set is imbalanced. So just remember that whenever you have imbalanced data set and the distribution is very skewed, for suppose 10% and 90% between the two classes, or 20% 80%, so in those in these cases you have to use this particular metric. And see, your model will give you the probability whether a point is belonging to this class or that class. So you have to select a threshold very carefully. So this will help you in selecting the threshold very carefully. So I think I have made my points very clear, and if you have any doubt whatsoever, you will please comment, and so that I can make that very clear again. So thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video.